Today, George Will wrote a new column. It's called Conservatism is Soiled by Scowling Primitives. He writes, today, conservative is soiled by scowling primitives whose irritable gestures lack mental ingredients. America needs a reminder of conservatism before vulgarians hijacked it. Well, fair enough. But should one engage hijacked conservatives by calling the people that they might support scowling primitives? Something tells me this isn't about George giving advice, but flexing his intellectual muscles. Anyway, I'm seeing a lot of this. Conservatives go after Trump and his supporters, often using a tone of knowing mockery. It's not that you're wrong, but you're also stupid. You know who else does this? Trump apostles. Yesterday, Corey Lewandowski said this.
It's very simple. You know, President Trump was elected to change the country, and you can get on board that train or you can lose your next election.
Get on that train, and who can forget this doozy?
Every critic, every detractor will have to bow down to President Trump.
Wow. Anyway, so here you have two sides within the same party battling over who's going to be right when this is all over. But we know the truth, as always, is in between. And never Trumper is right on many of Trump's flaws. A Trump apostle is right that the president needs support. A never-Trumper is wrong to think Trump isn't trying to do right by Americans. A Trump apostle is wrong to deny serious, obvious mistakes. Fact is, sticking to one perception, it creates a forced purity of thought that blinds you to realities, which then keeps you from offering constructive criticism that might help a leader who actually could use it. So never say never, and stop saying always. History shows that lockstep is always a march to disaster. At least, you know, I can say that today, the never-Trumpers and pro-Trumpers united under their... over the lefty meltdown.
Yeah, Matt Dawson tweeted that. He showed the picture of them in, you know, during World War I, where they're like, let's just stop for Christmas, and everyone like laughed. So no one likes to scold. Right? And the scolding is getting out of hand. But they're also missing the real point, which is, I think, also what you were saying, that it's not a matter of intellectual style or a matter of basically just getting on the train. The hard work is actually about a strategy and then trying to get it done. So there's a lot that they want to do together: healthcare reform, tax reform, infrastructure plan, etc. That it just takes a lot of granular work. So grand gestures like the filibuster to shut down the government because of Obamacare to try to repeal it, like those things don't actually work.
Right.
The good news for President Trump is that the majority of Republicans, vast majority, like 89%, are with him on the policy. So now, like, it's time to put the shoulder behind the that thing on the football field.
I don't know what it is.
Hey, Juan, sports analogy from Juan.
My sports analogies are so bad. You haven't been.
But you pick winning teams.
Juan, I want to ask you, because I enjoy George Will's writing. Sometimes it's hard to understand. I think he likes the thesaurus a lot. Yeah. But anyway.
I like it.
I feel like I enjoy his writing, but I don't think he's actually trying to convince anyone anymore. I think right now he's just kind of like firing the arrows and enjoying the strange new respect from liberals when he does it. Is that fair to say?
A lot.
You said what?
You have been on air with him a lot.
Oh yeah, I like George, but I think this is interesting because it's, you know, usually when you're dealing with conservatives, the argument would be that it's the left that's elitist. But now in this moment, here's George Will, who is, I think, an inheritor to William F. Buckley and that legacy of conservatism in America, saying, in fact, that he thinks that that legacy is being hurt.
I disagree. He's definitely no William F. Buckley. William F. Buckley got in
an inheritor.
Yeah, but Buckley would get in and sit and argue and fight.
Yes.
And he'd get down and dirty. George Will, he's above that. He doesn't even wear jeans.
I think George will fight. I know he'll fight with me. I don't know about you.
I think he'll fight with O'Reilly once.
Yeah.
One time and done.
But I will say this, that if you look at the numbers right now, you see that President Trump's numbers are going down with Republicans. I think he's down to about 80%. But it's even farther down with conservatives who say, you know, I'm not sure about Trump. And young people, I think now about a quarter of young people who were self-identified as Republicans leave. Something's going on there, but it could be that people are uncomfortable.
But then why did the other polls show that people that supported President Trump in the election, 96%, said they would vote for him again?
Well, no, 80%. And in fact, Bloomberg, the former mayor of New York, said, I think yesterday, he thinks there's a 55% chance that Trump would get reelected.
I think he's right.
8 years of Trump won. What are you going to do?
I don't know. I said before that, you know, Jesus take the wheel. I mean,
listen, George Wilson has never been on board with the whole situation. He was a very strong and vocal critic of President Trump, candidate Trump, you know, from day one. So I don't find this to be that surprising.
And there were consequences for him for taking that stand.
There were.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's room in the Republican Party for the George Wills, for the nationalists, for the Bushes. I mean, we've had Eisenhower was a general. Yeah. You know, you had an actor who was president. You've had now a mogul president. So, I mean, things evolve. The country wants different things. I don't think it helps when you have someone in the party that's saying the people that put your president in office are vulgarians or barbarians. I think it's okay if a party moves a president to the left or moves him to the right, but this doesn't help at all. I think, you know, securing the border is civilized. I think protecting American jobs from going overseas is civilized and compassionate. I don't see anything vulgar about that at all. I'd like everybody to be able to come together for the next few years to pass some legislation and make sure people have money and people are safe. So I think that's what they need to do, and I think there's room for cooperation.
All right. Well, on that upbeat note,